What's up, everyone? This is Waning Moonlight, and we're playing some Nightreign. Little warning, I'm really only going to be talking about the main, night bosses that we come across, so obviously some spoilers for the Night Lords, bosses at night, who's there, so if you don't want to get spoiled, watch this video later. But, still leave a like while you're here. I mean, you already clicked on the video, so... Anyway, that's the warning. And yeah, to talk about this game's great, by the way. It's a bit of a struggle. You definitely got to get into a special groove. I think most people have learned the pattern of running down the churches and fighting every single boss. But yeah, getting a little bit better at this game has been so cool. And speaking of cool, the Duke's Dear Freya. Oh my gosh, I was not ready to fight them here, but I'm so excited to see them. I'm a big Dark Souls 2 guy. If you can't tell that my YouTube icon got the Faram armor, or the fact that my last like 10 videos are all on Dark Souls 2, but it's my favorite Souls game. And it was really interesting to see how they remade her. Getting a riposte on one of the heads felt a little weird, because, Dark Souls 2 don't really get riposte on her. We also did take off one of the heads while we were fighting it, which was kind of funny. Anyways, pretty easy fight. Luckily, I had a few things on that say like less likely to have aggro, so the mini spiders didn't bother me that much. So she went down without too much issue for us. Man. Next up, took on some Misbegotten to be greeted by a Crucible Knight, which I was like, man, that's a little too easy, right? I mean, you can just find regular Crucible Knights, not even as a boss, was just a regular enemy. So, I thought it was a little too easy. And the further down his HP got, once we reached the halfway point, a golden hippo appeared, which is horrifying. If you played Shadow of the Erdtree, you know that thing is a beast. But they definitely have nerfed him. I mean, I haven't played Shadows of the Erdtree really since launch. So I don't know if that boss got easier too. But it definitely helped that this one didn't have all those porcupine needles shooting around. And without that, it's actually kind of too easy. I don't know. He didn't put up much of a fight. And with two of those bosses down, it's time for the Night Lord. What do you guys think of the Night Lords, by the way? I think they're kind of, I'm going to say almost a little overtuned in a way. Like, HP wise, I feel like they have so much. And maybe I'm just playing the squishy characters. Like, I don't only play the Revenant, but like, I feel like I'm almost always getting 1 to 2 shot, no matter what. And I don't know, that's not really a fun way to play. Anyways, that's enough of that, but this guy, Adele, definitely didn't just have to quickly relook at their name, is kind of cool, but also really annoying because they're really hard to hit with how agile they were. Honestly, I didn't get to hit them too much till they were in phase 2, and they started spamming all these AoE attacks. A lot easier to dodge than Godfrey's AoE, I gotta say. When he does the giant earth shatter. I gotta say, the teammates did annoy me because they would not be healing. I would try to heal him with a spell, and he would just keep running. I'm like, either he has a flask that he's feeling like just not using, or he's just not good at the game. But at one point, obviously, we got knocked down. I made a summon to try and be a distraction. But I guess I was the one distracted because I didn't see him going in for the grab. And then immediately finished me off. So, that was the end of the first Night Lord. Well, first attempt at the Night Lord. Here, we got our good old friend from Dark Souls 1, the Gaping Dragon. And I remembered you could cut off his tail, so I was like, wait a minute, you can lock onto it? Don't tell me. I kept whacking at it, and his tail drops an axe. It's not the, Dark Souls 1 Dragon King axe, but, that's still a cool reference. Nothing else to really talk about with him. He was kind of whatever. We had the duo again, so again, just kind of glossing over that one. You already saw the fight earlier. And speaking of seeing the fight earlier, this guy again did not go well. Um, yeah, not much to say. Everyone went down. I got one shot. That's how life goes. That's how the game goes. Then we finally get to come across Smelter Demon now. Keep note that my arrows are on fire. I'm shooting a fire boss who's in water with fire arrows. I felt like I was doing no damage to this man. But again, just like the Duke's Dear Freya, it's awesome to see how this guy was like reimagined. Pulling out the blue fire of the aged smelter demon was wicked cool. I gotta say, how well? No, I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna ask. What do people think about them bringing back some old Dark Souls bosses? I personally really enjoying it. It's good to see what they would be like in HD. Some of them age probably better. I feel like Smelter Demon looks pretty good. I feel like the Duke's Dear Freya, as much as I like to see her, felt like she looked a little weird, but that's maybe just personal preference. Anyway, Smelter Demon goes down. Great fight. Even if I wasn't as useful as I could have been. Next night up here. Well, sorry. On the way to the next night, I'm just chilling. Me and my boys, we're taking on some bosses. Excuse the fact I got knocked down like instantly, but whatever. And we get sucked up, and then we come across Augur. One of the Night Lords just randomly was like, let me have some fun with these guys. Yeah, I was I was not ready for this man. Apparently, I've seen the game does have some random effects sometimes. I got hit with one, like it was like a swarm. It said like a swarm of locusts appear. And the swarm of locusts took a level from me. I was like, whoa, whoa. I did not agree to that, right? So I was pretty annoyed by that. This one, however, was a lot more interesting. It gave you some time to practice against the boss for like free, basically. And free's the name of the game. He goes down pretty easy, obviously easier than the real boss would. And we got something for it, so, that's pretty neat. That night, once again, to actually say it this time, we go against the Dragonkin soldier. He's pretty cool, and not much to fully say. I do like fighting big targets as Iron Eye, because that way I can do the heavy attack, which does the triple arrow, and it's like I can just spam that. It's so much easier to hit. Now, I do hate how much aggro I get. Like, my bro plays the Guardian, and he has a thing that's like, increase the aggro when shielding. And, that should mean he gets all the aggro. But I feel like bosses are charging me 80% of the time. Which sucks, because, I don't have the HP to get hit. Anyways, give him some back shots from far away, some knives in the leg, and he goes down. Perfect. There, I got one of my items was a revive on death. What? That's awesome. Definitely keep a lookout for that while you're playing, because free revive. Here, we had a moth and scorpion fight, and they say they're weak to fire, but I am curious if people know like which one's weaker. Like, should I focus my damage on the scorpion or the moth? Because, as the Iron Eye, I can choose who I'm fighting. I stuck with the moth just because, when it doesn't go underground, so I could always consistently hit it. And that would leave the other people to be able to just focus on the scorpion. But, we had no real big trouble. Just flinging arrows, throwing lightning. Didn't get poisoned, which is obviously the main helpful thing. Until the sand turned yellow, and then the moth is riding the scorpion for just 2 seconds. I don't know why this is their second phase, but it's honestly really funny in concept. And then things immediately went downhill. I've never seen things go so wrong so fast. I tried to get up my bro. I got swarmed by the moth and then hit by a nuclear satellite beam, so that sucked. Next day, and my final run for the night. It was getting close to midnight, so I was like, I'll just do one more. Here, we had the Godskin Noble, and is it crazy to say that out in the open field, just felt so much better to fight these guys? Like, I don't know if it's maybe just all the Elden Ring practice, but this was not a hard fight. No real struggle. Didn't even need to heal once. So, like, I don't know. Let me know down in the comments what you think. Open field or in their enclosed area in regular Elden Ring. And as we go forth to our final Night Lord, please take this moment to subscribe. I'm trying to reach 500 subscribers, and when I do, I'm going to be doing a 7x7, 7 challenge runs in 7 days. 1 week, all the way up to New Game Plus 6, the hardest difficulty. So, stay tuned if you want to see that. And of course, we'll be doing regular Souls content later and more Nightreign. Anyways, here against Augur, things go actually pretty cool. He makes a lot of things, which I learned if you like break them, they do damage to him. So keep that in mind as you play the game. He does do sleep, which is really annoying. I'm not a big fan of sleep unless I'm using it against the Godskin duo, but it's. Yeah. But anyways, his boss fight is really hectic. I do like that you can stun him out of the sleep thing, but he does drop a nuclear bomb, which is insane that he can just do that. Which, if you haven't seen it drop, it's basically a one-shot on anyone who's in the area. That's kind of why I like playing Iron Eye, because, just some ranged options helpful all the time. But yeah, if you can't tell by how things are going, or if you haven't been watching the HP bar, things are going pretty good for us. And we take down the second Night Lord for me. This is my second one. So, having done that, thank you all for watching the video. If you liked it, do subscribe. As I said, I'm going to be doing a special thing at 500. And if you have any thoughts on Nightreign, leave them down below. I'm really enjoying this game. I think it's pretty cool. And now I can get costumes. I don't know how to get more. I only have like 2 options, but yeah.